that we're going to be looking into is what positive changes are coming into your life. I wasn't going to do this reading, but that's what my tarot deck told me to do a reading on, so that's what we're going to do a reading on today. So, just like before, if you've seen my videos, choose group 1, group 2, or group 3, and whenever you know which group you're in, you can find out what your message is. Just go to the timestamps. They'll be in the description or they'll be in the comment section. Hi group 1, so I am going to be giving you a psychic message about what positive changes are coming into your life. And the way I give psychic readings in a group, I guess, or in general, is I connect to the energy of the people who are watching, and I just ask that energy to give me the most important message. So you don't have to do anything. You can just keep watching me, and I'll probably close my eyes for a little bit and say some stuff out loud. I don't know. Today I am giving a reading to each person who is watching for group number 1. No matter where in time or in space these people are, I am tapping into their energy. I'm asking that anyone who's interested in hearing this message to consent to sharing your information with me. So for the collective energy in group 1, what positive changes are coming into your life? What is a message that will cover most of the experiences of the people watching this group? Which message would be the most insightful and clear and helpful? And please just relay that to me so that I can share it with everyone else. So I feel like in group 1, the first message I'm seeing is that the change has to do with a certain struggle that I'm seeing, and it has to do with you have been stuck in a stagnant place, probably in your home. These are probably people who've had to work from home and who maybe have like immunocompromisations or are immunocompromised and really have to be careful during the pandemic. The energy I'm seeing is like right before the pandemic started, I think that people in this group were just about to start with an idea. There was like this writer from Lenormand or like the Knight of Wands in tarot. There was this energy of that coming in, and those are like the fastest moving like messages, and it's like a passion and it's an exciting fiery start. But then what I saw was there being some type of disaster. There was injury, something bad happened that interrupted this possibility, and then there was like this stuckness of being stuck in your home. So it could have been that you are used to traveling and a lot of traveling plans got destroyed. Especially if you traveled for work, you may have had to switch to working at home. And so this has been an obstacle. It's made you feel like you can't push forward. It's made you feel like you've had to put a lot of dreams on hold, or in general, just the way that you work and your energy has been stopped, essentially. It also seems like there could have been like something was about to come into your home that was going to change everything, like this expectation you had, and then when the pandemic hit, or at some point, I would think during the pandemic, everything changed. So it could have been like someone was supposed to move in with you, and then something happened, or there was a breakup, and there were these expectations like, I'm just going to start this and it'll be easy, but it didn't happen that way. And the timeline does feel mostly like before the pandemic, like January and February of this year, probably part of March, where you were starting to hold on to like a plan you had, something that you wanted to push forward with, and then suddenly there was like an unexpected painful distraction, something caused it to not come through. So what about the situation is changing? So what I'm seeing is that the energy that's changing is a much more mature and stable energy is coming in. You are going to be experiencing, I wouldn't say renewal, but you really felt like you missed an opportunity at the beginning of the year. And it's probably something you've spent a lot of time hurting over, and it's felt like an obstacle. You may have even just like completely changed the path of your life. But the thing you were waiting for to come in that got like interrupted wasn't really for you or wasn't at the time. This could be something that was for you that is meant to be in your life, but the timing wasn't correct and there were just some things that needed to happen. So the change is that there is going to be a stable offer brought to you. If this has to do with a relationship, then this could be a person who wasn't ready to step up and they were immature, and then through time they have grown and they become more clear and they'll be approaching you again with a more stable offer. This could be business as well. If your person of interest doesn't sound like that, or you're still sort of aware of them and you don't see that they have made changes in that way, then that means a different person will be coming in. They don't have to be older or younger or anything specific. It's just someone who will have a more mature energy, someone who will be more, excuse me, someone who will have a more serious offer, something that will kind of hold water better than what was before. If this has to do with a work opportunity, the work opportunity that you saw before that you really wanted, or the travel, or like the vacation, whatever it is you wanted to do, it just wasn't quite as good as what will be coming in. So the energy that's coming in feels like it's the remainder of 2020. I would say certainly by Sagittarius season something will have happened. I would think by at least like the end, I guess, of December, which is end of 2020, but you know what I mean. I just saw Sagittarius energy. So you could maybe expect this to happen during Sagittarius season. I'd say it could start happening as soon as like mid-October. I still feel like there's a few more weeks of maybe some clarity you need to have, or whenever this thing comes in, whatever it is, you'll have a lot more clarity and it'll be the right timing and it'll make perfect sense. And you'll be able to look back and say, well, I really wanted it at this specific time in my own timing, but I'm a lot happier that it happened this way because there were all these things I needed to do or these experiences I had to have. And you'll just see that it comes together a lot better. So that's the message I have for you. I hope that it gave you some hope. I hope it helped you hope. I hope that it resonated with you, and if so, you can tell me about it in the comments. If you'd like to be friends on social media, I have an Instagram, and I have information about that in the description. And then I also sell personal readings if you want to check that out on my Etsy shop, and that's also in the description. I hope you have a good day, and I hope that these positive changes come into your life really soon. They make everything better. Hi, group 2. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to reach out to the energy of the people who are watching for group 2, and I will tell you your message that has to do with what positive changes are coming into your life. So right now I'm reaching out to every person who is watching for group 2. No matter where in time or in space this person is, I'd like to tap into their energy, and with the collective, read what message needs to be heard. What do the people who are watching group 2 need to hear? What about the positive changes coming into their life do they need to know about? The first thing I'm seeing is it almost feels more like a mediumship reading. If somebody lost someone this year, then I think part of the positive change will be knowing that this person is at peace, they're not suffering anymore, that they have accepted on the soul level that they don't need to be on earth anymore, and just that you can have peace knowing that they still know who you are, they still remember you and appreciate you, that they aren't, the limitations of like life and death don't stop love, that you can continue to love someone after you die. And if this is a message for you, if you've lost someone this year and it's been difficult, I'm really sorry that you've had a loss, but just know that you are going to be able to handle the grief and find acceptance more, and you can know that the person you miss is doing well wherever they are right now. It's really specific, so let's see if there's another message. I don't know. This one's a little bit harder to interpret. It feels like I just keep seeing a blue chair, a blue comfortable armchair, and it almost looks like the chair from Pee-wee's Playhouse. So there could be a more positive energy coming into your home life. If you haven't lost someone but you feel loss, like if you haven't physically experienced a death this year or the loss of a loved one, maybe you feel a emotional distance from people, or emotionally distant specifically from one person. If you've lost someone this year, I'll say the energy of the person I was seeing was like a woman or like a femme person with short, like shaved sides and like curly hair on top and glasses. So that's what I was seeing for if someone was saying hello to you, I guess. But it seems like an energy of like you are going to find ways to reclaim your home space. You will fill up your space again if you've experienced a feeling of loss. Maybe, I guess the scenarios I'm seeing are like if you were a college student and you were in a dorm and then taken out of the dorm, in and out or like there's been some issues with that. It's sort of like a feeling of being misplaced and not feeling at home. If you lost someone this year that isn't in your home anymore, if maybe there was someone you were going to roommate with and that didn't work out, it's the feeling of like discomfort in someone's home, and possibly linked to feelings of loss or like experiencing some type of hostility. Like maybe you have felt, there's been like this energy of like a mean female neighbor hanging around in my readings. So I don't know if that is like a rude landlord issue that you're dealing with or something. So the change seems to have to do with that, with positive things coming in. So let's see though if there's more information. So what positive changes are coming in for group 2? What blessings are they going to be receiving? what is going to come in to change their situation, what is going to bring some relief from their current struggle. I think that you're mostly just rebuilding your space. The energy is kind of slow moving and patient. So I think it's more so that you're going to start seeing the sun come out the remainder of this year. If you've had some projects you've had to stop or pause, you'll be able to start investing in those projects again. I do see the possibility of there being like some financial security for this group, um, like the possibility of putting something aside or like a nest egg. I also felt like the beginning of the reading had to do with someone passing because I was hearing an ambulance, but I don't think there was one going out. I thought my phone was doing something actually, but I don't know. Anyway, I think that you're going to reestablish some level of comfort. Uh, you may be able to take more control of your space or in your home, take up your space again, feel comfortable, and start to put effort back into some projects that have been put on hold. I think that these are projects you know aren't meant to be finished anytime soon. It's not the same type of like rushing energy I had before with group 1. It seems like these are more like long-term things, like maybe it's a job you've had for multiple years and you've been forced to work at home, you feel separated from your coworkers. I say especially if you were in elderly care or something, or in some type of caretaking position, if your hours or if you had to get separated from the people you were working with due to the pandemic. I think it has to do with being able to slowly return to that work, um, and to sort of reestablish yourself and feel comfortable. The blue in the chair could also have to do with like expressing yourself again, being able to communicate more freely. I feel like you may spend the rest of the year trying to speak more authentically, more clearly. Maybe this is a different message of like there may have been a big miscommunication between you and someone and you've sort of let it build up. So you may have an opportunity at the end of the year to clear the air or move on in some way. I don't know. The swords tend to have to do with clear conversation, cutting through emotions, just being direct. So the remainder of the year, I feel like you won't be quite as emotional. You'll be more practical. You'll start to see that you can invest in the physical world again. You may have been really caught up in your emotions during the pandemic, or at least most of the year, I guess, because we're still in the pandemic. But you're going to move back into a more practical mental and physical state, and I think it has to do with you being able to return to some type of work. So I hope that message resonates. I hope it was accurate. I hope it comes true. If it's what you want, if this doesn't make sense to you, don't worry about it, because your intuition is the most important thing in your life. I'm just a person on the internet talking. And it says balls beside my head. So if you want to be my friend, I have an Instagram and I have a shop where I sell readings. All that is in the description. And I hope you have a great day. And okay. Hi Group 3, I hope you're doing well. So I'm going to give you a reading based on what positive changes will be coming into your life. I would like to reach out to every person who is watching for Group 3. Regardless of where they are in time or in space, I would like to connect to the collective energy of Group 3. Will the energies in Group 3 please let me know what positive changes are coming into your life? What is it that you are looking forward to? What is it that you would like me to share regarding positive changes? Well, the first thing I'm just seeing is a lot of autumn weather, specifically like a really big autumn, a tree changing leaves, the leaves changing. So I feel like autumn does have a big importance for you this year. It really looks like it's going to be bringing a lot of relief. Something about the change in seasons may have a stronger effect on you. Um, they affect me a lot, especially going from summer to autumn. That is, I think, one of the most sensitive times. And spirituality, that's when the veils are parting, and you can develop a lot of psychic gifts during this time or increase your psychic abilities, and you are more likely to have like phenomena like paranormal things happen. So it looks like this is a really good opportunity for you. I think that with autumn, you're going to be releasing a lot of stuff. It feels like the people in this group have had a lot of like friendship losses this year, and um, maybe some financial stuff, or like just what I would say that the people in this group are probably less likely to be happy with maybe what's going on with them in terms of work, or I don't know. Maybe it's like okay, but it's not what you were expecting to do. It's sort of like it's stable, but it's like iffy. I don't know. Maybe you just don't know for a fact how long it's gonna last, but it looks like autumn and into winter, you'll be releasing a lot of people. You're going to stop really caring about the opinions of people who probably aren't really looking out for what's best, people who have envy towards you or judgments. I feel like the cards I'm seeing are Death and the Hermit. So those can be scary cards, but they're not scary cards. It just, if you know the meaning. And Death would mean you're having a major transformation. You're getting rid of old habits. You're cutting off what's dead from you, things that have been taking your energy, things that don't help you, people who are parasitic to you, jobs that haven't been helpful, and you're really cutting away from it. And the remainder of the year seems to be a lot about like internal healing. It doesn't mean you're not going to see people, or you're not going to have friends, or you're not going to date someone. You still have every possibility. The thing is that you're going to be doing a lot of reflection. The things that happen the rest of the year seem to be pretty major in terms of like giving you opportunities to learn about yourself. So it's not that you're doomed to be alone. The Hermit is like a lonesome card. It's someone who is by themselves. So you're not being forced into further isolation. It's more so that you're still part of the world, but you seem like a very, I guess, like really individual. Maybe you have like big walls. Excuse me. Maybe you have big walls up and it's hard for you to connect to other people, or you're more of like an observer. I feel like that energy is sort of what you'll be in. Or maybe you were a lot more social before, but due to the pandemic and like some friendships falling apart, you're more likely to sit back and watch people. I keep saying observer so much. I keep thinking about Mystery Science Theater, brain guy. But you're going to be more in like a King of Swords energy, where you don't get overly involved. You are not overly tied to your emotions. You're making very clear decisions about what is best for you or best for others. It's about fairness. So if someone has hurt you, if someone like really dropped, I almost said drop the boat. That is not a saying. Someone really dropped the gun. I don't know why I'm saying these words. That's not the phrase. Oh my god. If somebody really fucked up in your friendship, I see you releasing that. I think if maybe it has been really painful and you've cried your tears over it, there's a good new energy that you're going into where I think you'll be able to see where other people's faults were. Maybe you've been a little too hard on yourself and this really isn't your problem, and you're just sort of carrying on an emotional burden for someone. I really see you just releasing that and perhaps not even really taking those people back if they were to reach out to you. Make your own call. But if someone has had a repeated pattern with you where they make you feel like shit, maybe it's a good idea to at least take a break for the next 3 months, you know, because you could get a lot done. You can let new people into your life. I don't think, like, if you've lost 5 friends this year, I don't think you're going to necessarily get 5 new people, but I think the people who come into your life will take up enough weight and like space that it will make up for what you thought was a valuable friendship. All this seems like it has to do with friends, like friend groups and stuff breaking apart. And it looks like there's just like acceptance and release in autumn. So you're probably already feeling this way. You're probably starting to. You might be in a phase where you're like, oh, I'm still so hurt and it still feels really raw and I still want to cry about it. But I also like kind of think that person sucks, like, or like fuck them also. Like, you're starting to get more of like, okay, but like it's not entirely my fault, you know, maybe some pride back in a way, and you're starting to release, I think, the hope of this person returning, or you've stopped fixating on it. I think you're going to have a lot of time at the end of the year to really reflect on what those relationships were like. Who were you at the beginning of the year versus who you are at the end of the year? I think people in this group will be very different from January to December. You may even want to think about that at the end of the year, like compare sort of where you were mentally, think about what you've gotten through, and remind yourself that you did get through it. Like, you know, I'm dramatic and I love to just journal about like how everything fucking sucks and how miserable I am and trapped or whatever. But I think you are going to be able to have, like, you should be able to look at this and be like, I survived all of that. Like, all this horrible shit happened to me, but I survived. I'm still alive. I'm fine. And I'm actually doing pretty damn good. You may not be thriving, or you might be thriving. I don't know. You have a lot of opportunities. I think the message is mostly just to rely on yourself. Go with the flow. Go out in nature, reconnect, reground. You're building a new foundation, and I feel like the next few months are going to be important for 2021. I think it's time to start getting into a better headspace, take some more responsibility. If you have been really avoidant and depressed, try to just give yourself one thing a day that you should do, one thing to add to your schedule. Like, for me personally, I have a really hard time showering. Like, I really struggle with hygiene. It has a lot to do with like trauma and stuff. And I keep myself clean, but I don't want to fucking take a shower most of the time. I like fucking hate doing it. So I made a goal of showering every single day for the month. And I'm sure a lot of people are like, wow, that's fucking nasty. Well, you know what? I never said I was a princess. Like, maybe I am fucking nasty, you know? I don't care. But it's a true struggle that I have, and who fucking cares? Like, if it's embarrassing, of course it's embarrassing. Everything is embarrassing. Like, I think just, maybe that's it. Just accept the reality. If you're depressed, like, face it and deal with these things. I don't know, that was like a weird message at the end. I don't know how well that went along with everything, but step into a sense of acceptance and just let things die and let new things come in and enjoy sort of the peace and the space you have now that certain toxic people aren't around you anymore, and that there's room for new people, and there will certainly be new people. So I hope that message helped and it resonated with you. I hope it was a good message. And if you want to be friends on social media or get a reading, everything is in the description. I hope you have a good day, and I'll talk to you later.